I'm working now the contract position that I hold now is in the pharmaceutical industry, and they focus on cancer research. And this wing that they're opening in Ipsos is pharmaceutical with cancer as a focus of topic. So it just seems like a really strange.
So can we get free pot for us?
I don't well, if you have tumors
Dodds
growing on your face,
smoke.
I can give you experimental drugs.
Because I know there's that place on Henry Barassa that sells drugs from that.
Yeah.
Well, they don't sell it, but they store all sorts of
marijuana.
drugs.
So you're stealing medical marijuana.
Well, I don't take from there. I just know someone that worked in the storage area part.
My brother's friend got busted smoking a joint. Like, I guess it was on the weekend at some point.
Oh boy!
And the guy he's a cancer survivor. He had testicular cancer.
Oh, shit.
Cut off one of his balls, and now he's got one nut. And he's like smoking, and the cop's like, "What is that?" He's like, "I'm smoking a joint." And he's like, "Well, like, you're not supposed to be doing that." And he's like, "I've got cancer, man. Like, what do you want from me?" It's like, "Do you have your card?" He's like, "No, you want me to show you my one ball?" The cop was like, "Fuck this," and just laughed.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But then his partner was like, "Yes."
Alright, and on that note,
Yeah.
started off. I'm out like usual. We got Sean, Kyle. I don't know why I
Who
said
the
Kyle.
fuck is Kyle?
Fuck Kyle.
Scumbag Kyle.
Scumbag Kyle.
Matt and David.
It's funny you say that. I watched Despicable Me for the first time.
Yeah, there's a
Yesterday?
Scumbag Kyle.
No, the dog's name is Kyle. Like the mutant dog thing. I was like, thanks. And
the mutant dog.
I watched it at Renault's place, and ironically, that movie is directed by someone named Chris Renault.
No way.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Wow, that's weird.
Very weird.
I am.
And it's a picture of Chris Renault next to it.
Mm.
Hey guys, I made a ton of money off this movie.
You could switch the picture. You could just edit it yourself and then switch it.
On Imadeo.
Alright.
No, yeah, on Wikipedia.
So, Matt, for the love of God, are you done Dynasty
No.
Warriors?
It take forever.
One
I
does not
haven't
simply
even played
finish
it.
that
I haven't
story.
even played it last week.
Oh, you didn't? What were you playing last
I
week?
haven't played it.
I got a game for my iPhone. It's Royal Revolt 2.
Royal Revolt.
Is that
2.
also
the
for the
first one.
phone?
Yes.
Sorry, that was really weird. Was it also for Android?
Probably. It's a device, mobile.
Anyways,
What's it called?
what is it?
Royal Revolt?
Revolt.
Is it?
Revolt.
Do you need to always be online to play it?
Yes.
I don't like
It's
those
one of
types of games.
It is a freemium game.
Yeah.
But I played the first one. The first one was only single player. It's a castle defense. Well, it's the reverse castle defense.
So you attack a
You're
castle.
the guys, and you're attacking
Okay.
lines of towers and such.
And you've been playing this all week.
Yeah. Well, I don't play it all week. I play
Yeah,
whenever I
you're
have free
playing it, yeah,
chance.
Free
But
time.
I'll sit on my computer while I'm watching something and play it. But yeah, the second one now is online, so that's why it's the freemium.
Mhm.
Playing against other people, so I build my path, and then you have to come down my path, and I. attack
Oh,
other
so
people's
you
path.
build. Okay, so you build a castle, and then you also
Well, I don't build
attack
the
other
castle. You have the
castles.
castle, and you have your town, but that's just so you can have it. Then what you do is you build your path and your towers,
Okay,
and there's only a certain amount per level, whatever. So
and
more,
it's fun.
More money you spend, yeah, I enjoy it.
You enjoy
Just the tower defense. Well,
it? Is it
fun.
actually tower defense?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you got to think about what you're building, and you got to have because you can only take two sets of guys with you. Like there's all sorts. There's like 3 different mages. There's ballistas. There's whatever, but you can only have 2 unless you buy a third one.
Do you still play Clash of Clans
Yeah, every now and again.
every now and again?
I just look at it and then I collect everything, and then if someone hasn't attacked me, then I spend it. Otherwise, because it just takes so long and it's just so expensive.
Okay, so how long do you foreseeably see yourself playing this game?
Nope. I don't know. For a while, I mean, it's gonna take a while before it gets to the point where it's gonna take me days to
To actually
develop
do
anything.
something, yeah.
But
That's
I
the problem
mean,
with
so
the
far-
freemium games.
Yeah.
Like after a while of just building stuff up, it takes like a few days to do anything, and you're just like, fuck.
But I'm still trying to figure out their matchmaking system because it seems really bizarre.
Why you're just going up against
Well,
dicks that are
people
like
are just
huge?
Sometimes I just get attacked by
Huge dicks.
Because I get to choose who I'm fighting, so I can go through a list. and be
Really?
like-
You can choose
well, because
choose who you fight. What you can't choose who fights
no,
you.
obviously not. It's just random people will fight me, and every now and again I'll get 3-starred or I'll get no starred. So it's like,
Okay.
but I still lose money either way.
Hmm.
As long as like you enter it, but they just lose trophies. I don't know if it's by trophies. I don't know what it's by. So I just
Okay.
build it to the best that I can at the moment, and then
Yeah, it's usually
hope
how
for
it
the
goes.
best. Yeah, hope for the best. That's what it is.
David, what you been up to?
I've been playing mostly South Park Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
I started a new game as a Jew.
Yes,
As
the
a
jujitsu.
Very nice.
It's actually I like it a lot better than as a mage it's such a reference. I'm like really far, and I'm like a good. I've done a lot of side quests. I'm a good 10 hours in now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do. I've been in the alien spaceship.
Oh, so you see what happens?
I've
Oh
beat the
my!
shit out of underpants gnomes. Like there's so much to do.
And you've watched a lot of the South Park, also the show.
I'm up to date on all of them. I know them
Really?
all. So like,
Yeah.
and there's just so much reference.
The funny thing is, some people were complaining that there's too much fan service. But like, what the fuck?
It's South Park. That's what you.
Did you enjoy it? Like all the references?
I can understand that to some people it's a lot because everything that could be referenced has been referenced.
Okay.
Like,
But I mean, like, did you still enjoy it even though like you knew basically everything was taken from the show?
yes, I did, but like it's that thing where like when a reference comes in a game, it's got to be one of those things where it's just like, oh my god, yeah, there it is. I remember that from the thing.
Yeah.
This is just like, oh, it's another one. Okay, there we go.
Oh, was
Well,
there that many of them?
It's stopped
No,
getting funny.
because it's not an Easter egg, right? They're not Easter eggs.
And so
They're
this
games.
is
It's the game.
This is
itself.
actually a question that I've been sort of rolling with for a while now. Having not watched any South Park, do you think that I will enjoy it more coming at it from all of these jokes being fresh, or do you think that I'll lose something from it because I wouldn't get the jokes that they're sort of catering to the longtime fans for?
Enjoying the show or enjoying the game?
The game.
The game is still really fun.
It is still really good.
Regardless.
Yeah, but would he like would some of the jokes be lost on him because he's never watched the show, or he's barely seen it,
Or would the core experience be lost on me? I feel like I would miss some of the jokes because
I don't think the core experience is the game itself,
Yeah.
but like would any jokes go over his head or?
Some jokes may just be so weird that you don't understand. Like
Okay.
right now, I'm in a gay man's rectum,
Okay.
trying to disable
It
a
makes
nuclear
perfect
war.
sense.
You would
Because you're
never
Mr.
understand
Slave.
where that's from, but it makes perfect sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Slave's ass.
yeah, Mr. Slave's ass. Yeah.
I should watch this
Makes
show.
perfect sense.
Disarming a nuclear warhead.
On a side note, I'd like to introduce director Chris Rideau.
It looks nothing like them.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's funny.
How'd you find the space scene? In the alien ship?
With the
Oh my
Randy?
god, the alien
With
ship
the alien
where
probing?
Randy just gets completely probed. I was watching that.
Obliterated.
I was doing that scene with my headphones on with my girlfriend next to me trying to study. And she's just like on her laptop, confused as all hell with what's going on, which is probably what you would feel. if you
Right.
were-
At least you
Where's
have the
that-
audio
where's
going
that
with
going?
it. Though.
But wait, walk us through it. Your
Wow,
experience.
we know exactly what happened.
No, not all.
Everyone's
of us,
seen the video.
It's Randy Marsh getting probed.
But it's not just that,
Anally.
right? Like,
Anally.
don't you get a choice?
What you're
No,
playing?
because-
You're playing. You know that game for kids where it's like
Simon
four.
says.
Is it Simon Says?
Simon
It's four
Says,
colored things
yeah.
that you have to follow the order. It's like Bop It or something.
Yeah, Bop It, yeah.
It's that game, and if you're wrong, he gets anally probed. So you wanna the first couple times you get it wrong on purpose.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fun scene.
Yeah. Well, because apparently what happens is like beep boop, so you do the 2 buttons, and then it's like beep boop beep, and then you do the 3, and then it's like 15 different things. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They purposely make it impossible for you to figure out.
Yeah,
I'm sure if you figured it out too, they'd still not count it.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
He gets raped. Oh, poor guy.
So
Well, did he like it?
Or with not Timmy, the one that stutters.
Butters?
No, the guy with the
Oh,
with the
yeah.
braces.
You're,
Oh.
Cass says you're a king.
Anyway,
Cass says you're a king.
one
Cass
quick-
says you're
I still remember that.
continuing source of
The
inspiration.
Crips.
there's a few references where he's just talking, and he'll keep stuttering until you hold the space bar to skip the scene.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Like, it'll just keep going.
That's hilarious.
That's
That's
so
really
funny.
good.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I've
good
tested it. I let it ran overnight.
Oh wow, and he's still
Really?
stuttering.
He's still stuttering.
Wow, what were you playing it on?
I'm running it on my 6-year-old laptop,
Okay, yeah,
and
wow, okay.
it's running surprisingly smoothly.
Really?
So it's like the Nintendo 64 version.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, it's South Park, so there's not much shading in
Right.
the game.
Yeah.
So.
That's impressive. So I could
Yeah.
theoretically run it on my laptop. as well.
Maybe yes.
Probably.
not, though.
Probably.
You could try.
I could try to.
Yeah, so I didn't really play a whole lot, but okay, I was talking about Wolfenstein on my blog this week.
Did you play it?
No, I did not, but because I wasn't really. It doesn't have multiplayer, but it's getting really good reviews, and it has apparently a really good single player. So now I'm torn. I'm not sure if I should buy it or not.
Yeah.
Ah,
Looks
I don't
Because
really
it's
want to,
nothing-
and at the same time, it looks pretty cool.
It's nothing like the original.
Well, It's not
'Cause
like
it's
a
like-
maze.
No, but
The originals were mazes.
even the way it plays,
balls?
it looks like it's more of a Gears of War kind of thing, except more first person.
No, it's still arcadey.
Yeah,
It's an arcade shooter, which is why I'm
Yes,
very.
but there's
It's
still a
very
lot of
bizarre.
cover,
Doesn't
There's
that?
still a lot of
Well, see, that's where it gets interesting. I read one review, and based on that, I know everything about the game. And
Of course.
apparently, there are different ways of playing, which is slightly like the new Splinter Cell game, which I think is a reference, but might be lost on some people. Anyways, essentially in this new Wolfenstein game, you have the option, if you're dual wielding, it plays a lot like the older Wolfenstein games where you're just running around corridors and killing Nazis. You can play it stealth, which is strange, but apparently it's handled surprisingly well. You can play with one weapon in your hand, and then it becomes a cover shooter because you can actually take cover and then
Well,
you
that's what I'm
press
saying.
against
It
the wall.
looked like it was Gears of War because you can jump from cover to cover.
But that's what I'm saying. You
You
don't
can
have
do
to play
mechanics,
it like
yeah.
that, and it doesn't force it down your
Of course.
throat. You could play it the arcade way if you are sort of more of a traditionalist who feels that labyrinth-like shooters are the way to play.
No, but I mean the
When you're
original
fighting Hitler in a
Wolfenstein
giant mech
games.
suit,
Yeah.
that's the shit.
Either way, it looked when I saw the trailer originally, it looked really cool. This is back a few months ago when I saw it, and then now it just doesn't have multiplayer. It's kind of weird that an arcade shooter doesn't have multiplayer, unless the campaign was very long. I don't see how it's worth the money because how like you beat it once, maybe twice if it was really good, but
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
it's rough.
It's tough. I've never had that problem because I've always liked RPGs, and it's impossible to not get your value.
Yeah,
out
this
of
is
an
a
RPG.
first-person shooter,
But
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I've never come at it that way, so I've never really thought about price when I would purchase something.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
they'll implement it later on, or they're for sure.
It's possible.
The for sure. gonna
No, they're
release
not
DLC.
going to.
You don't know.
Why would they? Why would they want to?
Maybe they're still working on it, right?
But like, why would you even want
Well, it's like
multiplayer? and-
it's like Doom. It would end up being like a Doom kind of multiplayer, or maybe something
Yeah.
else.
well,
But
it would
it's-
aspire to be a Doom like.
no, but it
multiplayer
would just be an
fail.
arcade.
No, it'd be like Unreal.
But those are so depressing.
Those
I
are
don't know if you guys
arcades.
have ever played online. Okay, have you played Bioshock's 2 multiplayer?
No.
Okay.
They had a multiplayer.
Yes,
Did
and you
not
play
even
it,
know that.
and it's like you go to an AA meeting where it's very depressing. And it's like one of those
Everyone's
halls
just
where, like,
sitting there.
you know, people are sort of struggling with the idea that, like, well, we're not really playing the Call of Duties, so we're kind of like this, like, weird B
But how
or
would
C.
you
You know,
that in
that
your
is
game.
true, though. I mean,
It's
I did
very, but it's actually genuinely depressing.
No, but that's not what I meant though. But what I meant by it is true that like I did play the first and third BioShock games. They're both single player.
Skip
They
the
don't have
second.
multiplayer at the same time. I have the second. I've never played it. But I mean, like at the same time, I don't know
Is that
why.
ironic?
But see, the thing is, sorry, what?
Is that ironic?
Yeah.
The only Bioshock game that has
had
a compulsory
multiplayer.
and forced in multiplayer is one that you didn't
But
play.
wait, but
No.
you're only Big Daddy, so you just a bunch of Big Daddies fighting each other.
No, you're actually just different. I think you're splicers.
Oh,
Probably.
Anyways, but I mean, like those ones from the get go were geared very mainly towards stories, right?
So is the new Wolfenstein.
Yes. So maybe I should pick it up anyways.
so just out of curiosity, when do you think they're gonna start making video games based on Russians?
Russians.
Well, because with the
Fighting
whole
Russians.
dispute with
So you're a bunch of like homosexuals
No.
or Olympians.
Well, I mean,
fighting
they
no,
haven't
but
had
because-
Nazi killing games in a
no,
while.
well that's what I'm saying because Russians now are because of what's happening.
No, they're still going with the Arab line.
Yeah, well that's it. They're still going with
Yeah.
that, but when are they gonna switch to?
Well, after World War III, of course.
Well, they
Yeah,
might. Yeah, there you go.
That's what I was thinking. I'm
If we're
like,
still
are they
making video
Are they
games.
gonna wait till World War III, or do you think they're just gonna start?
It's
Well,
kind of
no.
tough. It's
Call of Duty, you fight Russians.
Well, I
That's
mean-
the whole premise.
No, but like
of Call of Duty.
look at the what's it called? That movie there. Fuck, it was a remake. It wasn't Red Faction. That was a game.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. They were actually fighting Koreans, and the Koreans didn't do anything yet.
I don't know, man.
And they added Russians. So I'm waiting for that war movie that's eventually going to happen. That's going to be just about Russians.
So you're waiting for World War III to see what
Yes.
kind of video games are going to come out
Yes,
of that.
indeed.
Yeah,
You're a
like
terrible human being.
He just wants new storylines, man.
I'm waiting for China too, man. Where's China's games?
Yeah, China will probably.
New Dynasty Warriors.
Hey, China's still cool. You play
And-
later.
It'd be more of a Sim City.
I think to jump in on this, I think it's important to identify the value of a game before you buy it. Case in point, unfortunately, with Dodds, where you got Titanfall. If you might have paid $29.99 for that game, you might have been in a better position to sort of accept it for its faults. I've learned the hard way that I've bought games that I should have paid even like $39.99 for. It would have been a better price, but I just got Saints Row 4. I am loving it. Paid $20 for it. I could theoretically stop playing it tomorrow. I would have gotten my money's worth. But the fact that I felt like I earned that, like I waited for it, I bought it when it was at a good price. I feel like I'm getting a lot of value from
So if you paid $70 for it or $60
it. Would be
for it,
disappointed.
really?
Because
Yeah.
the problem is I have such a backlog that by the time I would get to it, I could have bought it for $20.
Mm.
You don't have that as an argument, but
No.
you do have the idea that you right now have hesitations. And so what might happen is that you might buy it, you might enjoy it, but you might be disappointed with it, thinking that, oh, if I would have waited a month or two when it would have gone on sale,
Yeah.
you would have enjoyed it more. So it's
Yeah.
just something to think about.
But that's our own personal opinions, right? I'm pretty sure they went off of the majority of people with, like, even with Titanfall, Dodds may not have liked it as much, but I'm sure there is a shit ton of people on Xbox
Yeah, but there's
that just fell in love with the game immediately.
I think it's an equal split between people that like it and hate
But
it.
they still play it. They'll still keep playing it. The people
Not
that
the people
hate
that don't like it.
it. No, I've heard. Well, that's Dodds because he really, really did not like it.
When I hate something, I stick
Well,
to
that's
it.
it. That's, these American kids, sometimes it just seems like, okay, they don't
American
like it.
kids.
Fucking American kids and
For
their-
sure, because that's what it's aimed at, right? All these first-person shooters or these mech shooters that are like Gears of War-based kind of games.
Mm.
You know they don't like even the Gears of War series. A lot of the games didn't do well. The newest one,
Newest one don't do as well. The first couple of ones sold
but
really
people
well, and then
are
it just
still
went downhill.
playing the multiplayer like crazy. They're still on it. The servers are still alive from
Yeah.
the first or second one. I mean, it's like they stick to this stuff.
Okay.
They'll just keep going because even if they hate it, they'll play it because that's what they like: the violence, the shooting,
stab
the whatnot.
Sean, what's up with you?
I don't know. I don't even know what to talk about. I guess I can talk about.
What was the book you read this week?
Yeah, what am I reading this week?
He's
that's
watching
completely-
Lost, fucking. He's been
I'm
talking
watching
about
a
that
lot
for
of
the last
Lost.
couple of weeks.
Yo, I'm so hooked on Lost right now.
Drop
This
it.
shit is real.
Anyways,
Second season.
It's not real.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not
but almost
real.
done the second season.
Alright.
We can edit this out. They just found they found the guy
No, keep
who I
it
always
in.
thought for the longest time was Desmond from The Hatch, but it wasn't. It was that other kind of like gawky guy who ended up being on Person of Interest.
Okay.
That guy. They just found him, and Saeed is torturing him. I got halfway through the episode, and I have to go to stupid work. Should have just skipped work and watched Lost all day.
Why do I need to
that's
make
what happened
money
when
for?
little Nicky came on. I had to go to work. I'm like, ah. And then Star Trek was on the next week. I'm like, ah.
Which
No,
one?
it's Star Trek the movie, like
Which
the new
one?
movie.
Oh, the newest one.
Yeah. Well, no, not
There's
the news.
two
Not
newest
not
ones.
Shadow, not Into Darkness.
Oh.
The other one. The
God.
other one's better. The
No,
first
but
one's
I
better.
like the
You
first
didn't
one
say
better.
it, right?
I did like the
Yeah,
first
the
one
second one
better
was
too.
very
It was
busy.
Spock that said it.
I felt like it was
Yeah,
just
it
like
was
sort of
It
all
was
over the
Kirk.
place. I don't know. I guess I can talk about Bravely Default.
Cumberbatch.
Have you
Oh,
been
I can talk
playing
about
any?
something interesting about Bravely Default. It's sort of it feels. I think I've already talked about how it's very transparent, so you can essentially increase the difficulty, decrease the difficulty,
Yeah, yeah.
increase. But what's also interesting is that now they have very clearly delineated main quests. They've clearly delineated the main quest from side quests. Side quests on the map have like this blue circle, and they're always linked to new jobs because there's a job system in it, which is really interesting
Would you get new jobs by doing quests?
by doing side quests.
Oh
I
wow.
got two
That's
jobs.
good. That's
man.
incentive.
There are probably they've balanced it so that there are during the main quest you fight against bosses that have I guess different tiers of jobs,
Mhm.
and they're typically more traditional job classes. I fought against a knight,
Carpenter.
for example, a carpenter,
Carpenter, yeah.
a
You two with 2x4s.
librarian.
A scholar.
But then they have more like odd job classes.
And those are the ones in the side quests?
the side quests, and they all are linked to the city that you're in or town you're in, and they're all world building. And so the one that I'm in now, it's sort of a desert town, and they have troubles getting water, and so there's a thief class that you can get, which is optional.
He
Steals water.
No, it doesn't. Although
That
that
sounds
was
like
well
a
played.
tricky task.
That was well played. No, he's just a bandit. And anyways, you go to his
Well played, Adam,
lair,
well
and you find out that he was abandoned as a child, and blah blah blah, some sort of melodrama. But the fact that they actually cared, the fact that they actually created this side quest where it isn't just like go to this town and fight 4 wolves because the wolves are, for whatever reason, guarding water. I don't know why they're guarding the water
Because they
kill
drink
them.
it for their families, of course.
Yes, thank you. There you go. Anyways, it's good, and I like that. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I haven't put much
It
time.
makes sense, I know. It makes perfect sense. They're guarding the water for their families. Of
Yeah.
course they're going to guard the water.
And the graphics are really nice. I didn't ever think I was huge into graphics, but the
Mm.
presentation is actually really beautiful, and it's holding my interest in the game.
Well, when you watch an anime like Sidonia,
Yeah.
you really notice the graphics.
Of course,
in
yeah.
the game.
I mean, it's important, but I mean, as an RPG person, I mean, graphics are typically always so out of my
Yeah.
mind because they're typically like
But after like 20 hours, you kind of
Stilted
forget. And
animation.
that's,
Except-
Except for
no,
the
no,
cutscenes.
it's not. Even if they are amazing, after 20 hours, you stop noticing.
yeah, exactly.
No, but the cutscenes have to be absolutely amazing. Otherwise, it's
Well, if you're watching Final Fantasy. On to the point. How do you like the job system better in Bravely Default, where you get new ones by doing side quests, or in Final Fantasy Tactics, or
Slow
maybe
ones.
Final Fantasy 3, where you actually have to unlock them by combining other classes together.
I think that in an ideal world, I would prefer Final Fantasy Tactics. Except I always remind they were so obscure. I would just like the conditions. I would always see them grayed out. The first time I played through it, they would be grayed out, like the Dragoon would be grayed out. I'm like, how the hell do you unlock this?
No, but it never even shows you it until you unlock it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Like, you actually
have
have
to
to
figure
figure
it
it out.
Yeah.
In
But
Tactics.
see, that's what I'm saying. It would make sense if a thief
But you don't
would
just
combine
random-
with like an archer to make a ninja. That I could kind of see that. But some of the jobs are just arbitrary.
Well, that's why for the I already forget the name of the game when you're playing.
Bravely Default.
There you go. It seems more reasonable for that. Like, you encounter somebody that
Yes,
has
And you
this
learn the
ability.
job, yeah.
Instead of, okay, I gotta mix like a monk with a knight, and
Yeah.
I learn how to double punch, insta heal.
They
Yeah.
both
While
have
blocking.
their merits. Like in Bravely Default, you find the class, you see it. The only problem with that is if you're actively looking for one specific class or whatever, and you don't know where the side quest is, that's kind of balls. In Final Fantasy Tactics, if it was a little more vocal with how you unlock stuff, it might have been better. Whereas in actuality, you had to hit or miss, try and figure out what it is.
But then again, how old was Tactics?
I think, but just to jump in for a second, I think it's interesting that they try to connect the classes with some sort of a real world class, right? I mean, like the
Yeah.
thief has a real world, whereas in Final Fantasy Tactics, it didn't feel like, I don't know if ecology is the right word, but like you wouldn't ever. Where would you see ninjas? It's just like just chilling on the side of the road. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, it was
to
just
me.
the story based, right? That's
Of
what it
course,
was.
but I mean, like, it made sense within the confines of the story. But in Bravely Default, it's interesting that they're trying very honestly to create a story that caters to the mechanics of an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is just a really good example of them convincingly creating like this job and it being linked to some sort of a story element to it. I think it's handled very well. Although I agree with you, they're different.
They both have their merits.
They both have their merits.
Either of you guys play like Final Fantasy Tactics or?
I can't say that I am right now. How many jobs do you have now? Or
In Bravely Default?
yeah,
Is it like Final
5?
Fantasy
you can
Tactics?
you have more than one at a time.
You can only have one job at a time,
Okay.
but then you have a passive ability for any other jobs.
Well, it's like the Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy Tactics events.
But it also plays really interestingly because every single class has a passive bonus that's really cool.
Mhm.
So one of them is, for example, for the knight. Once one of your party members drops below 50 HP, then your knight will automatically shield that unit.
What if they're not near you?
Well, what do you mean?
Oh,
it's not
yeah,
a strategy RPG.
strategy. Yeah,
No, it's not a strategy
yeah.
RPG.
Okay, never mind. Yeah,
Which is really cool. And then you have like really cool builds where if you have 4 black mages, then there's a multiplier,
You
so
can't
they
see
do
them
more
when it's dark.
damage. And so it encourages different. Sorry.
He's just being racist.
He's being
Yeah.
racist.
And for like the white mage automatically heals status impairments at the end of each round, and
Mhm.
there's really it encourages you to constantly experiment with different classes.
Okay.
So
really
you have 5 of them right now?
I have 5 of them. Yeah.
Do you know
And-
how many are actually in the game? Or?
20.
Jobs out of 20? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like a single mom.
Well done.
Yeah, Sean. Because you said you had 4 black mages. If one
Oh,
casts
yes.
darkness, you can't see them.
Oh no. That's terrible.
All right,
It's
Dodds.
so bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, I'm not black, but I mean that's still.
All right, Dodds. What have you been playing?
I ain't played shit.
Yeah.
I haven't played anything since.
He's played Life.
Yes, I have played some Life. I did watch Renault and Farino kick some serious ass in Black Ops 2 Zombies last
Oh,
night.
there you go. That's something you can talk about.
Yeah.
That's it. Haven't you been playing Call of Duty's
Oh,
zombie
the Ghost
mode?
one?
Yeah.
No, I stopped
Oh,
that
you
for a
stopped
while.
playing
I
that?
don't like
Instinction
playing.
or whatever it
Yeah,
is?
I don't like playing those game types by myself. And
Did
none
you
of-
play with Renault?
a little bit, but they were playing.
Two players,
Because
it's
they came
useless.
out with an expansion not that long
Yeah,
ago.
but I'm not even gonna bother buying that.
Yeah.
But
It seemed like it was going to add a little bit to it.
Zombies in Black Ops 2 was entertaining. Because
Yeah.
you could upgrade your gun and turn it into a laser gun.
Huh.
And if you get this one revolver that's like it's a 5-shot revolver instead of a 6-shooter, it's a 5-shooter, but it's got like slugs, and it's a 1-hit kill when you make it a laser. Like, and they were at round 20, and it goes through zombies.
Oh shit.
So they found this one room that has only one entrance,
no.
and they went 300 on their asses.
Oh, wow.
And like they were just
So
coming in, it was like, boof, and like 4 of them would die with this hand cannon.
Yeah.
Is it Call of Duty or
It's pretty
Black
sick.
Ops with the monkey bombs there?
Monkey bombs.
Black Ops.
It is
Yeah,
Black
you get a
Ops.
little
Okay, so
white.
Black Ops is the one that looks amazing compared to Call of Duty.
That's-
Because they have the mystery box, right? and all
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
What's in the box?
yeah,
No,
you
literally,
get a,
you don't know.
yeah, you get a. There's a box and you pay you get money for killing people.
Yeah.
And you open up the box and then one gun will start coming out, then it starts changing into a bunch of different guns, then it finally settles on one and you can pick it up.
You can get
Okay.
a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can end up with 2 snipers on you.
Yeah, and
That would suck. though.
Renault kept getting fucked because he got an RPG, which is useless,
No.
and then he got a grenade launcher, which is
Oh,
also
even more
useless. But
I
then
don't
he
know,
got
I'd
the
rather
monkey.
the grenade launcher.
No,
than
they're
the
both
rocket.
bad because they have like 6 bullets in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I still think the future of Call of Duty is in these very interesting games.
Yes.
I think that it can learn a lot from Borderlands, and
But-
like you had just mentioned, this really creative scenario, and creating just like this very basic template with like very elaborate game modes
Yeah.
with different types of weapons that you can potentially customize, and then letting players do what they want.
But
And
they,
I think that would become.
don't want to do it though. That's the problem.
But they are. I feel that they are already
Well, they
moving
can
in that
because-
direction.
Fuck, I forgot the name.
Extinction?
No, the
The new one.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare?
is that it?
With Kevin Spacey?
No,
Yeah, that is.
He's
that
in
is-
it!
yes, no, but no, I meant
and he's a politician.
Black Ops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing Black Ops.
They are already ahead. So it's like Sony trying to catch up to Microsoft, and Microsoft trying to catch up.
No,
they
but-
don't want to just copy what they're doing.
It's. I think it's.
That's
I
what
think what
Extinction
is
did.
happening is that Call of Duty is going to be slightly rebranded and
Yeah.
moving away from this like bra mentality and into this what it once was, this very creative. It takes a while for it to catch its strides, especially now that it's competing increasingly with, for example, Battlefield, which is. I'm disgusted with it now. I used to be very proud to call myself a Battlefield person, but now they take themselves too seriously, whereas Call of Duty had been sort of plagued a little while, I think, for being taken too seriously.
Yeah.
And now that it's sort of having fun with itself, I think there are going to be a lot of people going back to it. And I
It
think
was
Yeah.
was it Halo Reach that first started with the Horde mode?
No, that was Gears of War.
Gears
man.
of War.
Okay, no, I
But
mean
first-person shooters.
but yeah,
was
Gears of War started the Horde
Reach,
mode,
I think.
but then Halo brought their own in after. I guess it was after Halo.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I think it was
Reach.
Halo Reach.
Yeah, and that's fucking tons of fun.
So
It's
fun.
amazing, and you
Super
can you can add all kinds of different scenarios into it. Like there's a bunch of different add-ons and shit. And there's Grunt birthday party where you shoot a grunt in the head and he blows up and there's confetti everywhere, and you hear little girls go yay.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Well,
Well, speaking of Halo,
Wait. The cool thing about the Black Ops one though is that every different kind of level they have, there's a giant Easter egg in it, and I don't know how people find these out. Like it doesn't make sense that people can find these out at all. But like you have to do a million things in the level, in the right order at the right time, and it unlocks like a giant Easter egg at the end of the level.
super weird.
It doesn't make sense. Like,
But likely what happens is once you do one thing, it gives off something. And
But
then
it doesn't.
Sort of like you do something else, and then it's sort of like it cascades.
it doesn't. I've seen people. It's like they were in a temple of some sort. They had to push these certain buttons in a certain order. Like there's nothing that says what buttons to hurt in one order, unless you just trial and error.
Yeah.
There was like 5 of them. So like how many patterns can you do out of the 5 of them?
Mhm.
Then while something rises, you have to shoot it. Then lure a certain amount of zombies into a fire down a pathway. Which like how would you know how to do? It literally does not say.
Developers.
There's just that's it. Like you would have to literally check the developers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, then going back to the stuff like that, like original Black Ops, just Black Ops had its Nazi zombie mode,
Mhm.
and then
Which was
Black
so fun.
Ops 2 has the zombie mode, but there's the regular ones where you're just taking out hordes of zombies, but there's one called Transit, where there's a bus that comes around to
Oh,
the level,
Yeah, that was cool.
picks
That
you
sounds
up,
so cool.
and then brings you to the next level, and then you have to fight off zombies there while picking up parts to build different types of equipment.
What?
What?
Like, so you can upgrade the bus, like you could put a fucking cow catcher on it,
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
like a gun on top,
That sounds
and
really cool.
reinforce
But
it with
that's it. You
steel.
have to learn how to do these things. In
Yeah,
what
it doesn't
order.
tell you. Like, it doesn't tell you anything.
I have to figure it
You
out.
have to find the parts, and then you have to find the blueprints in certain parts of the level to build those.
But
that
so it's-
equipment.
But they don't
Yeah.
tell you it's
This
for the
is
bus.
more, this is more like a community thing where it's
Yeah.
like after
Yeah.
a while, everyone starts figuring out together.
But it's
Which
just
is-
And then as you play, you're playing with, if you play online, you play with people that have done it before,
Yeah.
and then they tell you, and then they show
well,
you, and
it's
you're
just
like, oh
these
shit.
giant Easter eggs. Like,
Yeah.
how can anybody?
I wouldn't
figure
consider
this
that
out?
an Easter egg, though.
No, but
That's more like a
I
community
guess.
figuring
But
shit
no,
out.
but even then, it's like there's no way even the community can figure this out together
No, it's
collectively
possible.
because you can't just examine it unless you're in some sort of like free mode.
No,
where
I,
nothing
no,
hurts you.
I figured out a bunch of them by playing a lot. Like, because like when you'll walk by a part and it's like hold X to pick up a part. You're like, okay, I have this fucking part. Where am I going
Yeah,
to
the
put
parts is fine, but like I'm saying, like if you're like puzzle solving and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
experimenting with,
You can
the
figure
world
it out
itself.
eventually.
All I'm thinking is that what'll happen is that Call of Duty will still keep that kind of like the serious iteration, but then
Mhm.
also that kooky one.
Well, that's why they
And
brought
then-
Extinction, but
it's-
it's still.
I just think that they're not dead, and I'm happy to see that they're still sort of creating these really interesting. I had never heard of this mode until Dodds just mentioned it right now, and I would love to play.
It's
that.
a lot
That
of
was
fun,
Black
and you can
Ops,
play 4
that's
people
why.
on one TV, which is
Nice.
also
That's
amazing.
sick.
Which is
But then
Black
you could actually do what I saw was what's not co-op, but it was like against each other. It's 4-on-4. Well, there was 4 guys. They were like scientists and 4 military guys, and it was just staying alive. Like you can throw grenades and kill each other, but you can't literally shoot each other.
Okay.
But it was just a fight to survive. But it was in that level with the buses.
Okay. I don't know. Anyways.
It's
Why would scientists?
No, but it's just like
hold
they're,
any sort
they're
of-
in what's it called? They're the suits, the big yellow suits.
Oh, hazmat
Oh.
sits there.
So it was just that's what Black Ops is doing compared to
Mhm.
Call of Duty.
Is it weird that I've always strived to just be called a scientist? What do you do for a living? I'm a scientist. People are like,
No,
fuck,
you're
I
a
don't want to
doctor.
open that can of worms. Good job. Good
Sean,
on you.
You're a doctor.
An author.
You're a doctor. Of
Oh, a
science.
doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Not
I
yet.
have an
Not
MSc.
yet, but you're.
You can just say,
You're gonna
just
get a
call me
PhD.
Sean MSc, and I'll be okay with that.
Can you use that as a suffix?
You can.
Yeah.
I have it on LinkedIn.
All right. Anyways, so
Is it Mr. or Sir? Just Sean MSc. I don't want to use that.
anyways, so they announced Halo 5 for the Xbox One coming out next year
Oh.
sometime. Yeah.
Which I will sadly not be playing.
No.
I'm not buying an Xbox One.
There's also reports that they're going to remaster Halo 1 through 4 for
Yeah, I
the Xbox
heard
One.
about that.
Ah.
Oh,
Fuck!
speaking of
long-
not getting an
Fuck!
Xbox One.
As
Yeah.
long as they don't change the pistol in.
Yeah.
No,
Halo
it's
Nah,
just, they're
it's
not going
just-
to redesign. They're not
But they
redesigning
already
anything.
remastered it, didn't they?
They
made
redid
HD version.
It doesn't matter. They're
It
doing it
looks
again.
fucking amazing.
They're
on
doing it
HD.
again.
That's pointless.
Now, but this was just a report, so it might not actually be true, but it probably is.
Yes.
But there's no release date. They said some people said this year, some
So
people
is
said
Master
next
Chief's
year.
hair gonna have like more hair particles?
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
more
hair.
birds flying in the sky.
Anyways,
Is
so
it gonna be
Dodds.
like a box
Yes.
set, or
I think so. All 4 of them together.
Whoa, that's good value.
well, we'll see.
It better
Very
be like
good
less
value.
than 20
Speaking of good
bucks.
value, side note, Renault bought all 6 of the X-Men movies on Blu-ray for $40.
Wow.
Very
Yeah.
good value.
It was like a multi-pack.
Hmm.
It was amazing.
Yeah, but that's like high and low. The first couple are really good, and then
Yeah.
I can't really think of another one that's good. In
First Class is
I
really
like
good.
Wolverine.
very good.
I haven't
Apparently,
seen
the
I
new
didn't
one that's
like
coming
First
out
Class.
is supposed to be the best of all
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
X-Men
but I
movies.
didn't like First Class because it was just not
First
true.
Class was good.
Not
I
true. What do you
haven't
mean it's not
seen
true?
it
It's
yet.
just a new
No,
canon.
but like,
It
it's
looks intense.
yeah, it
It's
does.
not-
The new one?
And not true to the comic origins.
technically
Okay.
because
Whatever,
like,
who
they
cares?
brought but they brought one of the big 6 in to like the kids, and then he dies.
I did discover a plot hole
Uh-oh.
in X2.
Okay, good.
With Wolverine.
Okay, I've seen that one.
No, in,
Yeah,
X,
me too.
in X2 they're talking about because Nightcrawler attacks
Okay, yeah.
the White House, and then a whole bunch of shit happens, and then they're in a bar, and Dr. Hank McCoy is on TV, which is Beast,
Yeah.
but he's a normal person.
Really?
In First Class, he injects himself with that shit and becomes Beast.
No, but that's a different.
Is it a different timeline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but at the same time, though, in the new one, he also sees him as a normal person as well.
Yeah, he sees.
What do you mean?
He
He
sees
sees-
Doctor. Yeah, he sees Beast like Hugh Jackman sees, or Wolverine sees Beast before he is.
Oh yeah.
Beast.
So I guess it's 2 separate
No, but-
timelines then.
But back then, even as before, he could transform back and forth because the concoction wasn't perfect yet.
Hmm.
He would inject himself, he would turn, then he'd turn
God.
back.
I did not put enough energy into knowing any of this.
No, but
I'm
there's
just
a
gonna
lot.
watch the movie.
No, but-
This was entertaining.
Well, look, First Class, the main enemy in First Class, he was one of the ones that captured Phoenix originally. He was the guy with the big mutton chops.
yeah, but let's.
And then they made him into this, and then they kill him. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
that just ruined a lot.
well, I mean, it's not based on the comics.
No,
either.
but like every other mutant, all the kids, all the First Class kids, they're all new mutants. They're all from the new comics.
Wait, I
so-
don't think Beast does transform back. Am I thinking?
No,
I think
but-
he's just permanently transformed.
No,
which
but
would
they
bring
meant-
into your point that he should.
They
have
meant
been much
as a
younger
student,
when-
he was injecting himself trying to make a serum out of Mystique's.
But at the end of the
whatever.
first class, he was permanently Beast, whereas Dodds has just mentioned
Yeah,
in the
but
second one
that's
he's an
just
older
like-
man before he transforms.
Yeah, he's like an adult.
He's an adult.
He's like a 40-year-old man on the news, but in First Class, he's like a
Well, that's it,
18-year-old
it's just like-
kid with Beast face.
That is perplexing.
Mhm.
He looked back in time for something.
I will boycott
I'm
this
sure
film.
you can look into it online, and there's probably some sort of explanation.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that Jess's dad has a speaking extra
Yes.
role in
Yes.
this? I don't know if I
No
told David.
way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't hear that.
He is, I think, a translator. So when
One,
you go see the
two?
movie, in
The
the new
newest
one that's
one.
coming out,
The newest
Yeah.
one.
he gets
Wow.
seduced
Jimmy
by
Chan.
Mystique.
Jackie Chan's going to be in the movie.
Wow.
So
Jimmy
keep an
Chan.
eye out for a translator who is
Looks like Jackie Chan.
He
Who
looks
is
like
Asian.
Jackie Chan, yeah.
Cool.
Chinese man.
If
Yeah,
you see
that'll
Jackie
be
Chan,
Jimmy.
it's Jimmy
That's
Chan.
awesome.
Jimmy
That is
Chan. All right, did you guys see the trailer for Batman Arkham Knight today?
Nope.
No.
I did not.
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
I saw it
It
without
looked-
volume and in a small screen while I was working.
Pretty sick.
Did it? Did it
Looked
show
cool.
gameplay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so did the other one.
Like
It showed
fighting
some-
gameplay?
Bits. Well, I mean, it showed some of the gameplay, but it not really from like
Right.
the cameras.
So it cuts. He's countering and doing a half counter, and then it cuts to something else.
Origins look good. We all know that.
Yeah, but this
story.
one's made by Rocksteady.
Yes,
It's
at
not
least
made
it's
by
made. It's not made by.
And they
Warner
haven't
Brothers.
revealed their most interesting part yet.
what?
Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal it.
What's the most
Deadpool?
interesting part?
Well, they're gonna have. Have you played any of the Arkham games? Asylum?
Arkham Asylum.
Have you played any Arkham games?
Asylum.
Asylum. In City, what
Well, you
they
said
did
you
was they
played
had
City.
like it's a bigger city, whatever. They had gliding. That was their thing.
Mhm.
In this one, what they're incorporating is team fighting with a single player. So you'll incorporate
Like
fighting
Robin?
as Batman and Robin simultaneously
Oh, yeah.
with one controller.
Interesting.
Very interesting. A lot
How
like
did,
Prince
how
of
did you know
Persia,
that
probably.
though? Where'd you read that?
Yeah, so a friend of mine.
Unnamed source. Interesting. Very interesting. On interesting notes, Google, namely YouTube, tried to buy Twitch.
Did they buy Twitch?
For,
No,
like-
apparently the reports is the original report said that they bought them, but apparently the actual report should say that the talks are still ongoing.
But $1 billion?
$1
I'd be like,
billion.
what is there to negotiate? That's $1 billion.
Wait, we're worth as much as Instagram? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
seriously.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with YouTube, like, there's so many fucking like copyright bullshit that's on YouTube right now. Imagine the
It's gonna ruin
onslaught of
Twitch.
crap.
That's why
That Twitch
does
is gonna
not wanna
happen.
do it.
It's gonna ruin Twitch.
Yeah,
That's why they're probably not going to do it. And wait for
But-
Facebook
But do the
to buy it.
creators-
$1 billion.
If they're entrepreneurs about it, right? If they're business people, as opposed
Yeah,
to
they take the billion, leave, and then
create
make
something else that is like Twitch, but without all these copyright shit, make a ton of money off of that.
I'm sure they're gonna have airtight contracts.
Yeah, exactly. That they can't be doing.
Well
that.
said.
Heck, in a suit.
You should be part of my legal department.
Yeah.
Or just sell a percentage of it to
That's
still
true.
be able to work.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, like it like with
Or
Google
just
behind
outside
them,
of
they could do a lot of stuff. But at the same time, they're already doing a ton of things,
But isn't it frightening how these companies are just
buying
absorbing?
everything up.
But what is the? It just feels like the end goal is for them to just become these
Well, that's
Own
what
the
it is.
internet
multimedia.
They just
sort
want to
of-
own everything, right?
It's gonna be Google,
And you,
Amazon,
on Apple,
Microsoft, and Apple,
Hmm.
and Walmart.
on Walmart.
no, Walmart
and Target in Canada.
No,
Target
Walmart's still
by-
here.
Apparently,
Okay.
Target's having some big
Target
time
sucks,
trouble.
That's why I said
yeah,
that. They recorded $1 billion in losses for
Really?
2013.
Holy shit!
And their Canadian
Because they're
CEO,
stupid.
president, dude, has been fired.
Their prices were higher than Walmart.
It's terrible. I
It
went
is
there
terrible,
once. I'm not going
atrocious.
back.
I bought deodorant there. I'm like, this is not a good deal on this deal.
Why would you go to? Why would you
Because
just go to
Target's
the
supposed to be
pharmacy?
cheap.
Yeah.
Target's supposed to be like a Walmart, except cheaper. But it's not. It's more expensive than Walmart.
Actually, it's not supposed to be cheaper. It's supposed to be a branded Walmart, which doesn't
I
appeal to
guess,
people in
but
Canada.
Walmart's branded anyways.
Well, they have a brand recognition, whereas Walmart is where all the scuzzy degenerates
No,
go.
it's
We don't-
where I go to buy McDonald's.
But
while
you are
watching-
Canadian. In America, apparently, they have this like
It's
caste
redneck.
system where like the upper class go to like value places where they pay more for their stuff. Apparently,
We have
there's a
Giant
market.
Tiger.
Target is awesome in the States.
It is.
I don't like
Kicks
Tiger
ass.
here.
I got a pair of fucking Fila shoes for $15 at Target.
What?
Yeah, and they're lightweight too. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
weigh
what
like,
Winners is
like
for.
half a pound each.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
That's what our Winners is for.
Yeah, but winter sucks now.
Yeah,
It
what is
does
this weird?
because nobody donates anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last up is Far Cry 4 got announced.
Oh, that's cool.
Mountainous in the Himalayas. No more
Yeah.
tropical.
Apparently, people have issues with that.
Whatever.
People
Fuck
have
that.
issues with
No,
everything.
because
I
of the
think that would be
scenario.
fun.
surprise!
Because it's not on an island, people are upset.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
I'd rather
like,
it
fuck
in the
that.
mountains with snow and all kinds of crazy
But have you
shit.
seen they showed like this is what you get for buying it, a bonus pack, and it showed this guy with this like enormous.
Dick.
It looks almost like a
He made the motion. Sorry,
like a
Sean.
Moby Dick hook.
Well,
So I'm pretty
well,
sure that that's going to be a core mechanic.
So
This
hooking,
giant-
fishing.
You'll shoot like this.
A
this
harpoon?
you can a harpoon. Thank you.
Okay.
And you
That's
can
what I was
scale
looking for.
mountains probably or something. To that
So it's like Just Cause now.
probably. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were trying to do is get a jump on the Just
Mm.
Cause bandwagon.
But someone photoshopped the image that they posted, and it was like Willy Wonka with a
Yeah.
with a Goomba or
Oh,
what
you
was it?
mean
Not
the
Goomba.
Oompa-
He's
Oompa Loompa statue?
Sorry.
him sitting on the statue.
No, but he's like sitting there and
yeah, it's in the
he-
statue. You didn't notice?
no.
It's literally like he's got the head of the statue in one hand.
Okay.
He's sitting in its body, and he's got his goon on his right.
Okay. Anyway, so it's not, but now it's the Willy Wonka guy with an Oompa Loompa. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I mean, like other than that, I mean,
Oppression's hilarious.
it'll probably be pretty cool. I didn't play the third one. I played Blood Dragon.
You haven't played the but you
I played Blood Dragon.
The core
Which is no
mechanics
relation.
translate really well into Blood Dragon.
Yeah, but the fourth one could be cool. I like the setting better than the constant tropical areas they're always in. The African areas or
The second
deserts.
one- The second one is still the best.
Yeah,
I recommend it
Minus-
to everyone who likes first
minus
person
those fucking checkpoints.
It was a very difficult game to appreciate, but it was still fantastic.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Fun stuff. All right, so question. This was the question I was going to say last week, but then Brandon came out of nowhere with his. So I read an article on Kotaku talking about basically the guy met a professed troll, like online gaming troll.
But what do you mean met? Like
He was talking to him in person at a bar with one of his friends.
But
And this guy was completely unremorseful. Like, a lot of the times people will be like, yeah, if you meet a troll in real life, you probably wouldn't do the things that he would do on the internet because there's no anonymity
but you
to
say
it,
he
right?
wouldn't do it in person.
No, this guy was like, he had no remorse of doing anything online, and he took pleasure in all of the things. Like, he's like, I've made people cry, and it was the best part ever. Like, he was just a complete asshole. He's like, maybe I'm just a bad person. That's what he said. And it's just like, my question is, okay, like, everyone at one point has trolled another person. I mean, like, yes, you can take some enjoyment from it at some point, but at what point is it going too far? And at this point now, they have games like, they have like
League of
DayZ, right? DayZ wasn't made for online trolling, but because of the community, it has actually flourished a lot more and is part of the experience to be a complete asshole to people on that.
Compo.
Yeah, exactly.
He meets one of the best
Yeah,
guys
he
in the
meets
game.
this nice person, then kills him after he gets some
But
guns.
no, but he was one of the best guys. Like, he apparently beta tested it or something.
Yeah.
Had all this equipment, and he's helping Compo out.
And then Compo kills him and
And
takes his
Compo
stuff.
kills him because he's like, he might kill me later on.
Yeah, and then the guy
Survival of the fittest.
no, but see, then the guy
Hunted him. all
Yeah,
game
hunted him.
long.
hunted Compo in game.
all day long.
Anyways,
So the fact that you went off on a tangent, if I might, and
Yeah.
started laughing hysterically about something that Compo did as a troll,
Yeah.
suggests that this is
No, but
more
no,
way.
but the guy came back to it. No, it's funny. Yes,
No, but Compo didn't do it out of, like, he wasn't an asshole about it. He's like, he might actually turn around and kill me, so I'll kill him first.
Yeah,
I'm
which
pretty
is
sure Combo was being a dick.
Yeah,
yeah. No, he
slightly.
was being a dick.
Slightly.
Not even slightly. This man was
He
being
was being a
genuine.
dick.
Oh, this is
No, but
this is
I-
what they call the long con.
Even-
This man
even
who is
still-
genuinely altruistic is going to coach me under his wing for 10 hours, and then when I am just as strong
Okay,
as
it
him, he will
wasn't 10 hours,
No,
man.
but listen.
But the fact that he was coaching
No,
him
but Sean,
it was
suggests
like
even
an
then,
hour,
like,
not even.
in DayZ, if you've ever seen it or played it,
Right.
some people will do that. They will coax you into being their friends. They'll lead you into a town, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden the town will just be ambushing
No,
you.
But
people
is
are
that an
talking about-
excuse to collapse
No,
into this
but you're
paranoia?
killing him
and kill?
now before any bad
Okay,
might
anyways, that was
happen.
an example. There's games like that end up being like, they weren't built for trolls, but the
They're a
actual
haven for
experience that but like when people buy DayZ, this is what they're expecting now because that is part of the experience that you can
Right.
meet anyone in the game,
And you
right?
will die unless.
So I mean, like, where do you draw the line? Like, at what point is trolling going too far? Like in League of Legends, people berate people all the time, right? You if you make a Smurf account and then start fucking trolling
Oh,
every single
fucking
person that's
everybody.
making a new account that is genuinely trying to learn how to play the game, and you calling them a giant piece of shit, you're not actually helping them. You're just making them. You're just ruining their experience, and they're never going to come back to the game. I mean, like,
blog about this.
Yeah, that you did.
So what do you want? You want
Here's
like
my whole
all
first
monitors?
post.
Was that even a question? I feel you were just
No,
talking.
but-
no, but I mean, like, this is just to spark a discussion about trolls. Like,
We've slightly discussed this already. It's like, what's the best way to get rid of them? Making it not free. That's the problem, right? The fact that it's
everything's
free to play
free
the game. That's what brings the young kids. That's what starts the trolling, and then other
because
people
everyone
get
can
involved.
come.
The
Yeah,
young
everybody
kids.
can come. That's what it is. No, but
I don't know. But WoW was pay to play and fucking.
it's not
Yeah,
that
but
bad.
you don't get as many
Well,
trolls.
WoW's
I didn't meet. I played WoW for when it came out for a good couple of years, and I don't remember meeting any trolls on WoW.
Well, no, not in your own faction, but in,
That's
you
what
play
I'm
PvP and you get hunted by fucking level 85.
Yeah, because you used to hunt people
exactly, and
outside.
it was awesome.
So that's not trolling, though. That's not trolling. That's just being.
You're in a
No, that's just
PvP.
being a dick.
I don't think
Trolling
That's just
is-
being a dick.
I don't think trolling existed back then. If you were to go back to World of Warcraft now, it would probably be very different.
No, but they're still not trolling. People have their. That's the way WoW is now. It's not.
What I'm trying to get at is that as a video game player, there are different intellectual or cultural movements, and so being a troll is part of the gaming experience now. It's an archetype for the video game player online. This troll idea didn't exist necessarily in the form that it exists today. And so if you were to go to WoW, these other types of games that conceivably you never experienced these types of things that you had to pay money for, they may still very well host these trolls. Of course, you'll see more of them in free games because the barrier of entry is much lower. But if you have to pay for an account, then it takes a really weird person who's willing to pay $5 or $10 to troll people.
Yeah, but that's what he was also saying. He used to play EVE Online, right? And see, the thing with EVE Online is they always have these like gigantic schemes where you hear about like 2-year-long like company espionages where they're like some guy from another company infiltrates another company for like 2 years and then tries to ruin it from the inside.
In EVE?
In EVE, yes.
See, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
That's
different. That's different. But what this guy used to do, the guy on Kotaku that was talking to the troll, he used to play with his friend, and they used to find newbies, okay, and then start feeding them false information to the point where they got them to go on these missions that would literally get them. They would lose all their ships, all their money. They would literally lose everything that they owned in the game. And that's it. And then they were laughing. It was for no actual benefit of their own, other than the pure amusement of destroying someone's in-game experience.
Apparently, then, from the description of that, it's like when
I was the father of trolls.
When I was young.
Yeah.
Because I would always say, if I ever had like a friend from like another country that never spoke English, I would teach them like, oh yeah, the sky's green and the grass is blue, and I always just thought about that. I thought it would be fucking hilarious.
Troll.
Yeah, well that's it. That's it. I always thought that would be hilarious.
That is actually the troll.
This is a
when
good
we're
question.
playing League of Legends, that is a huge troll.
You should direct it to Matt then. What does the enjoyment come from something like that?
Yeah,
like why on the person? Well, the thing is, because like most of the roles I play in video games end up being a healer or a support. So I always I'm not carrying the team, but I have the advantage of seeing, okay, like even in World of Warcraft I was a healer, and I'd always see, okay, I'm not carrying the team, but I'm supporting the team in a way that's keeping everybody alive at all times.
Right.
And I've got to keep this up no matter what.
Yeah, but you don't inherently troll people when you're healing them.
Let him finish his thought.
No,
it's like a reverse.
No, but that's it. Like I'm trying to keep them alive, but then all of a sudden I'll get people that'll be like, oh, you're not healing me fast enough, but I'm like, I'm fucking 0 mana. I've got the highest healing out of everybody in the team, and apparently I'm not healing enough. No, you're not doing enough DPS because that's actually what it is. You can show him the list. It's like from the roles that I played, I've seen like even in League of Legends.
Yeah.
I play support roles. I played mid as well. I can carry myself well. But then my second is support roles. I can support the fuck out of anybody. But when they start losing and they start blaming the person that's trying to support them, that's when the troll comes out, and that's when
he makes a good point.
You start fucking shitting on them because they're being assholes.
That's not always how you troll people.
No, but after a while, it's just like, okay, I can tell. No, but I can tell you're not trying. I can tell you're being an asshole because I've been in those positions where I can see everything on the battlefield that's happening. I can tell that a certain thing's supposed to be happening this way. You're not doing it because you're being a jerk. So I'll be like, okay, no, do it, or otherwise get fucking trolled.
Yeah, but see, that's reasonable. I mean, like, you're going after people that almost deserve it, right?
That's how I.
But that's where it spawns from.
That's
right?
But see, the problem is that's where you have to draw the line, right?
No, but because you're doing the other team. I trolled the other team just to piss them off to get them aggravated. Because if the other team's aggravated, they're not playing smart.
Yeah.
And then they're playing.
That's like chirping in any sport.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then I really start going out.
That's an art, my friend.
That's an art. Yeah, but it's but I'm talking about where you
teabagging them.
Yeah, teabagging them.
My goodness, this is just frightening.
So
you're saying that it's you've learned to do it proactively because you don't want to become.
No, it's not that I don't want to.
Doesn't care.
If somebody is doing something stupid, I'm going to start trolling them fucking immediately because they're being stupid.
What happens if the opposite is true, where if they're like a new player and they
new players?
No, it depends. No, because if he's on his level 30 account, they can't be that new.
But that's it. We played on our Smurf accounts and we don't say anything to them. I'm just like, well, you're not playing well, and then I'll try to actually give them information.
Right. We're not jerk. Oh, see, we're jerk offs to the people on the other team. But if someone sucks on our team and we're on a Smurf account, we're not going to be a fucking asshole to them.
Help them, but if they don't listen, well, fuck it. That's their problem.
But I mean, like on the other team, if we're shitting on someone, we'll fucking troll the shit out of them and be like, "You fucking suck," blah 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 blah. But I mean, we're not on his team. So,
I used to do that in WoW so much with my hunter. If someone was pissing me off in my group that was just like shitting on everybody and not pulling their weight. It's like, okay, There's a huge mob there. Cast misdirect on
Yep.
him.
Yeah, I know someone that did that.
Multi-shot everything. All the aggro I just got is directed at this guy, and I run the other
Oh
way.
shit! That's amazing.
I don't know if I told you, because we had mentioned it the night at Mad Hatter's. My cousin had done that one day because we were in a group. We're in a 40-man guild, and someone was complaining, like, why is the tanks not tanking properly?
Yeah,
Whatever.
you were saying.
My cousin misdirects the person that's talking shit because we know it's them that pulled ahead of time, and they did it again. So he misdirected them immediately.
Mm.
So no matter what happens, as long as he hits someone first, they're all going to go for that misdirected target. Even if the tanks are pulling aggro, they're going to go for that person they left immediately. Because like at that point, like they're dead immediately, and then the tanks pick up aggro, and then it's like...
Yeah.
Because you just got to deal with the trolls by trolling them back.
Yeah, but see, that I agree with. But at the same time, there's two ways to deal with trolls. You either troll them back or ignore the shit out of them.
No,
But
but
you can't feed the trolls.
no, you
right?
have to feed them just to
can't-
fucking troll them back.
Why? Because then you're just creating a monster.
Well, that's what League of
No,
Legends
no.
turned into.
Yeah,
Blood for
League of
blood,
Legends
man.
is a monster. No, but see, the thing is, it depends how you feed them, because he's not feeding them, he's fighting them. Feeding the troll is whining because he's being a troll.
Yeah.
That feeds him, and that just makes him do it more.
That's where they
If
get
tr-
their
if
satisfaction.
he's exactly
from your
Well,
suffering.
because look, when I play mid as my main character, I can do very well. And then if my team starts losing, I'll start trolling my team.
yeah. But see, that's I don't know why you would do
because,
that. I mean,
because
like,
they start talking shit, and then the other team starts talking shit. I'm like, why don't you guys just keep trying? Because they keep trying to surrender
But isn't
every fucking 2 minutes.
isn't it possible that your trolling is inspiring or planting seeds
But I
in
wait.
people who become trolls in the future?
Maybe, but I
It's a
wait.
vicious circle.
It is.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I wait for them to start acting like assholes,
And then you
blaming me for shit, and then as soon as they start blaming me, that's when it comes out.
Because with no policing system in video games anymore,
Well, look,
people
look,
have to
well,
police
there
themselves.
is like a fucking tribunal on
It
League
doesn't
of
work.
Legends. It doesn't do shit.
It works sometimes, but it doesn't
People
work.
are inherently
Anyways, look,
assholes.
look,
Yeah.
They are. It's true.
Look, I was a support. I was healing the guy. I was doing well. I've done well as a support. I mean, you could ask Mayor, you could ask Alex.
Yeah.
I've done very well as a support. This guy comes in. He's not doing bad, but he ends up dying. And then he's like, oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you? I'm like, well, okay, whatever. I'll just ignore him.
Right.
I'll apologize straight up. I'm like, sorry, whatever. I'll do better next time. Fucking dies again. I'm like, well, if you got a problem with it, I'm just going to stop. And I literally left the lane. Went into another lane to start doing it with someone else. And I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm like, I literally told him, if you don't apologize, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
And he straight up apologized.
Wow.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, well, there you go. I came back, I helped him, and we won the lane.
But it's true. If you think about it, it's playing video games is kind of like a social experiment. There's no government, so people just collapse into this childish
Yeah, that's
behavior
what it
where they
is.
just like show pictures of each other's penises or like teabag one another, and it's just like really infantile. These are like probably 40 or 50-year-old men who
I
like
yelled
No,
at-
no.
go to
I
their
yelled at
wife
a child
afterwards and get
once.
yelled at by
No,
them.
no.
League of Legends is usually younger kids. Or,
Yeah,
No,
a lot
but
of
that's what I'm
times-
saying. Like it's just a really strange.
I full out
thing.
yelled at a child.
But that's,
Yeah.
but that's the internet. Like, what is it now?
When did you yell at a child?
Remember my 72 game win streak? Yeah, when it ended.
Oh no!
Because we had one kid on our team who went minus 20.
Oh,
And his username was Marino. And we finished the game and we're in the lobby and all you hear is me,
Well, what is it?
God damn it, Marino, you fucking piece of shit! And then I hear him,
I forgot where I read this, but it was some guy. He was a journalist of some sort.
Yeah.
But,
Mr. Marino.
He was getting, I forget from what, it was from Twitter, because he had said something about someone.
Are you talking about the DayZ thing?
No. This was something different. Like, this is an actual journalist. He had
Okay.
mentioned something about some star or something.
Okay.
And he started getting harassed by some fan on Twitter or whatever. And he started getting death threats. He started
Swim
getting all
fan?
this.
Ah,
But then he started getting mail at his house of, like, packages of death threats.
How's that even possible?
yeah.
Because they found, like,
Twitter
he
isn't
didn't know.
anonymous.
No, but-
right.
No, but it's like, he didn't know how he was
Packages? What
getting
kind
it.
of
But,
packages?
no, he literally received a package. I forget what it was. It was a while ago.
cold eggs.
No, but it was like a letter, and it was like something else in it. I forget what it was. But it's like he
Some
was
mysterious powder.
no, but like he was scared for his kid's life.
Of
He
course,
was a grown man. He was a journalist.
Of course.
His wife, he was terrified. He called the cops. The cops couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
He used legal means quotation marks because he traced the IP.
Right.
He found who it was. Turned out it was like a neighbor from 2 or 3 houses down. It
Uh-huh.
was their kid. The
Nice.
kid was like 13 or something. The kid didn't know that it was him. The kid had no
Oh,
idea.
shit.
Wow, what are the coincidences of
He
it
just
being
found
near him?
Well, he's a journalist, right? Because so he had his address, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
Had his business information. It was just some 13-year-old kid. He went to go confront the kid. kid was terrified. He was crying. He was scared. He's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do it. I was just being whatever."
Yeah, because
Well, he's supposed to be anonymous, right, on Twitter, but no. The journalist found out who it was. Found out it was literally like maybe a block away. It was someone.
But see, that's what I was getting into before. I mean, like most of the time,
Well,
if
it's
you
because
confront
it's
the people,
anonymous.
they would be like, "Oh shit," like blah
Well,
blah
that's what
blah.
I'm
If this
saying,
person wasn't necessarily being confronted
No, but it
in
was
the
a-
moment, he was being confronted while he was removed from his actions.
But
Yeah.
it was a kid threatening
No,
to
but
kill his family.
I'm talking about the
No, I
article.
understand
I'm
that,
talking
but
about the
this guy
article
was talking about.
because the
Okay.
guy
No,
was
yours
talking to him
makes
in a
sense.
bar, and the guy was completely irremorseful of
Well,
whatever
that
he
kid
did
was too
I
at
know.
first until he got caught.
until he got caught. That's what I'm saying. But they're talking to him in a bar about all the shit that he's done. He's talking about
Well,
making
I'd say-
people
if
cry.
Say the police come to his door and say, "Okay, you've caused someone to commit suicide."
Yeah.
He's gonna feel bad about it. He's gonna
Well,
want to,
You don't
might not.
know.
He
You
could
don't
just
know
be a
that.
very severe
Probably
sociopath.
would.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
that's what I was
Unless he's
talking to
a
Sean about.
unless he's a sociopath.
No, but see, the thing is, he's so removed from this, and it's like it's almost as if, like, as he's trolling people, he's done it so much on the internet that he's so far removed from
Well,
the
that's
people
it.
that
I
he's
tell
actually
people-
hurting in real life
Well, I tell
that
people
he's
I don't
just
care.
but he's like maybe you're a sociopath also.
No, it's just trolling. It's like if you're gonna be an asshole to me, I'm gonna be an asshole back to you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep
No, but I'm
pushing
saying
it.
this guy just has no
Numb to it.
remorse. He has no nothing. It's just maybe he is just a sociopath.
Well, it's like road rage, right?
He's no empathy.
Like, you haven't seen me drive yet. Richard has. The road rage is just like to the max right now.
I have road rage also. I
fucking
mean, like some
West
people are
Island
idiots.
drivers.
I have the worst road.
You know,
We're in
that's it.
Montreal.
But that's what
Yeah,
trolling
we-
is,
yeah.
right? That's what road rage. Except we're not.
Road rage
I'm
is
not.
not trolling.
I'm not
What are
like
you talking
sticking. I'm
about?
not sticking my head out the window. Hey, asshole! Get out of the fucking way. I mean, if I started to that point, then it'd get a little extreme. But it's because I'm not anonymous. Say all of our windows were just blacked out.
Yeah.
So how are
And
you
we
supposed
had-
to put your head out the
We
window
had a
and scream
microphone.
at him?
We had a microphone coming out of the
My
car.
friend has flip cards of various things that you could say, like I hope that cell phone gives you cancer. He just has flip cards for
That's
all different
amazing!
events.
That's hilarious.
That's so good.
Are they bilingual just in case?
No, they're not.
The OLF gives them a fine.
No,
Your
no,
insults
It's
are
not
all
the
in English.
content of what you're saying, it's the fact that the English is much bigger than the French.
Oh my god.
It's funny.
Because it is. It's just that we're not doing it because we're in public.
Yeah.
There's a certain standard when you're not anonymous anymore.
But
Isn't
yeah,
that like that? Where is it, in Russia or Germany, where they have that like prison system where it's all transparent glass, and apparently like, there is not that much violence there because
you
they're
can
always
see-
afraid that they're being watched.
Yeah.
And eventually, and they have much less guards because the guards don't even have to watch them all the
That
time. It's
sounds
just
like
the fact that you are
everyone
being
can
seen.
see.
That
Yeah.
sounds like the Stallone and Arnold movie that they have.
I just described to you the plot of Break In.
Break something, break.
No,
Break out, breaking,
No.
breaking in, break.
I forget what
no,
it was, but they were in cubes of
busting out.
Busting
I don't
out.
know.
Holy shit.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
That
That was
Right for some sort
It's
of a
like the porn parody of that
misinterpretation.
movie.
How would you parody being trapped in a prison with men?
bunch of women.
It's a lesbian.
Me and Joe came up with a idea of making an Inception Triple X parody.
Oh god.
And
Let's save this for
and
later.
when
Let's save this for
You're
later.
telling me it doesn't exist?
and when it's time for the fucking money shot, all you hear is the
And then it switches.
And on that note,
I would have taken it more literally. Like, it would have just been a lot of penises being penetrated into vaginas. Like,
Different
dreams
layers of vagina.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
or
where
like
that.
a vagina and a penis, but the back of the penis is also a vagina, and it's all going into one.
Wow.
You're gonna have to draw this out for me.
We're gonna have to go deeper.
It's the type of movie that you sit
Oh,
through and
God.
think
That's
about
the
while it's
tagline.
happening.
It's just deteriorated so fast.
And that Stallone movie is called Escape Plan.
There you go.
Escape Plan.
and on that note, that's it for us. Like, comment, subscribe.
No,
Check us out on
we
YouTube,
can't.
Facebook.
We're not
Check
allowed.
out you have Eclairs.
That's horrible.
Who wants to declare?
Check out
No.
the blog at gamerbasement.com. And
Rather
see you guys next week.
Rather eat a Big Mac.
Blah.
Declare anyone?
Please. Thank you.
Imagine that.
It's gonna-